I want to welcome everybody to today's Code Ninjas conference call. We host these calls each and every week to give you a better idea, a better understanding of Code Ninjas, who we are, kind of what's going on. And I want to say thanks again for just taking your time today. Usually these calls last anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes. Really kind of depends upon how the direction of the questions go. My name is Marty Flanagan. I'm the Vice President of Franchising with Code Ninjas, and it's been a pleasure doing these calls every single week for the past 2 years. These calls are also hosted on our YouTube channel, which you can go back and listen to all of our past calls to get even more insight. So kind of just really a brief outline in today's call. The first 10 or 15 minutes, we're just going to go over a high kind of bird's eye view of Code Ninjas, and then we're going to go into what we call our Q&A. The Q&A is probably is the most popular part of these calls, where you have a chance to ask whatever questions you have in regards to Code Ninjas, anything that I've mentioned today, anything that has maybe you've read in the past or seen in the past. I know we've been on the news quite a bit. We're now officially have our first few franchisees in Canada, so we're looking forward to those centers opening up here in the coming months, and really exploding in Canada with more than 400 inquiries in about 4 months, and currently working really closely with more than 30 entrepreneurs in Canada. We look forward to having Canada be a very fast growth like here in the U.S. And really what's that fast growth look like, to kind of give you an idea. So a little bit of a history. Code Ninjas, myself, David Graham, the founder and CEO of Code Ninjas, and Burnt Sense Upon, we started Code Ninjas in 2016. We launched as a brand officially in March of 2017, which is also when we opened up our very first location. And that is a location that is owned by David Graham, so all in one. So we started and launched as a brand in March of 2017. As of today, we have more than 375 sold locations in the U.S. and Canada. Feels great to say, and Canada. We have over 75 locations currently open. We have more than 175 franchisees, and we accomplished that in less than 24 months. And that's really validating for us. As Code Ninjas, as we started this company, we're in David's office in his home. We're really planning out our growth and where we're going to go, what's going to happen. And in March of 2017, we were just hopeful to sell 30 territories, in the whole year of 2017. In the whole year of 2018, we were hoping to sell 50. And then in 2019, we were going to explode and sell 100. So to be at 375 already is pretty exciting. We're on pace to have 100 locations open by March of 2019, so it's very exciting. By the end of the year, if we did not sell one more territory as of today, we said no more territories will be sold, we would have more than 250 locations open by the end of 2019. That's exciting. That is absolutely exciting to hear that and to know that and to see that. It's very validating for us, like I said, to receive the kind of feedback we have, to see the trust in our brand, the trust in this coding side of it and what we do, and we'll get into a little bit more of that as well. And on these calls, we generally have anywhere from 20 to 30 attendees, so our Q&As can be all over the board, and that's really one of the best parts about it, and we'll get to that in just a minute. So to give you a little bit of the why behind all this, like how did all this come about, and why is it exploded, right? And we'll talk about that a little bit. How did it all come about? David Graham has been a coder and a programmer his whole life. He jumped out of that space and became a franchisee. He was a franchisee at the brand that I was an executive at for many years. We got to know each other very well. He actually also was hired by that brand to create their internal operating system, which is actually being used as of today in more than 4,600 locations. So he got a really good look under the hood of a franchise on that backside of everything and how it's managed, how it's run. And then I was obviously on the inside for many years on the executive side. So it made sense for him to sell his franchise at that time and moved back into the coding and development space. So, and he actually opened a school that taught adults how to code. And he owned that for about 4 years. That operated in 18 different cities. and that got purchased by the Wozniak Group. So he left that, was completed with that in 2016, called me up, pitched me on this idea of Code Ninjas. Based on the why, it was just an overwhelming, for me, value in seeing why I needed to leave. And that why is David, year after year, week after week, he was continually approached by his students, by people in the community, about how the younger generation can get involved in this learning how to code. And as time went on and he kept getting asked, he did research on the market. He looked through the entire marketplace and he saw the problem. He saw the issue. He saw how it was being taught. And then one day as he was sitting in his son's dojo of karate, his karate dojo, it hit him. He saw the belts. He saw how coding could be taught the same way. He was sitting in an uncomfortable bench, and immediately the idea of Code Ninjas started to just cultivate, of understanding what he could bring to the table for this younger generation using this karate type of theme. So once Code Ninjas was born, our belt system, which is part of our curriculum, part of our offering inside of Code Ninjas, we have a very comfortable, welcoming entryway where parents can enjoy to sit down, relax, have high-speed internet, have coffee, and it's a very comfortable, clean atmosphere. So as time went on, we continued to develop the model, continued to develop our curriculum, and we launched as our brand. We created that infrastructure, that internal infrastructure, because having experience for 4 years operating in 18 different cities, Code Ninjas could have become just a corporate-run entity. But also understanding the value of what a franchisees bring to a brand and bring to the growth of that brand and the diversity of that brand, we knew from day one we needed to make Code Ninjas a franchise. So we built Code Ninjas from day one to be a franchise. So everything that we've done has been focused around being a franchise. There's a lot of advantages to that when it comes to being duplicatable, being scalable, for our support structure. Everything we've done, we've built around looking at the market, understanding with our experience of more than 30 years in franchising, bringing all that together to create Code Ninjas, the franchise. And it's been exciting. Our support structure, we knew that the support structure is the backbone of every great franchise. So as we started creating our support structure, we have, for every level of business acumen, no matter where you're at, the support structure is there for you. Inside of our support, we obviously have our compliance. We have individualized support. So you have a dedicated person for compliance, a dedicated person for operations. We have Code Ninja University for you and your team to use when you're not in touch with somebody and you want to be able to watch videos or read more materials. We have Code Ninja University. We also have collaboration tools that you're able to connect with your peers immediately when you become a franchisee, whether it's going to be the same size of market, whether it's going to be a best practices. Our collaboration tool is there for you to connect, share documents, share pictures, share your ideas, share your pitfalls so others don't face them. So you're able to actually learn from your peers, and it's instant. It's not shared once a year at a conference. It is immediate connecting with your peers, Code Ninja franchisees, center directors, Code Senseis, all over the country. So we also understand that things can get buried in that, and that this is very valuable, this collaboration, this best practices. We actually have a dedicated person in-house that just connects with franchisees, grabs those best practices, and is able to create training material to give back to our franchisees so they know how to implement the different programs. Because just hearing somebody say, this is what I did, there needs to be more. And we understand that. So we actually have dedicated people just to sharing the best practices. So we have that support structure, that compliance. We provide digital marketing strategies. We give you 12-week pre-opening marketing templates to follow. So everything is in place. Facility guides, everything from construction manuals, design manuals, our branding requirements, everything is in place for you. No matter your business acumen, if you've never owned a business before or you've owned multiple, the pathway is there for you to be able to follow and engage with our team to be sure that you're maximizing, obviously, your Code Ninjas. So when it comes to the why, that is a why right there, obviously having the right support structure, having the right infrastructure, and focusing on that before we even launched as a brand is critical. Another part that is obviously we get a lot of attention for is our curriculum. Well, we have many different offerings on the inside of Code Ninjas. We have 6 different opportunities for families to get involved in Code Ninjas, soon to be 7. Currently, with the 6 different opportunities we get involved, the most popular is called our drop-in program. That does get the most attention. It's also the #1 revenue producer inside your center. That drop-in program, that's where that karate theme comes in. It's made up of 9 different belts. Within inside each belt is a learned set of skills and concepts. At the end of each belt, our students are required to build a game that shows proficiency in those skills and those concepts they learned within inside that belt. So once they show their proficiency, they're able to progress to the next belt. Each belt compounds onto one another. So each belt is intertwined. They all work together. It's not segmented learning, it's cumulative learning, so it all works together all the way to belt 9. This curriculum is 45% proprietary and exclusive. This curriculum has its own proprietary textbooks. This curriculum, parents pay a flat monthly fee that allows their son or their daughter to access this curriculum 1 to 2 hours a week for that flat monthly rate. It's a flexible learning system. This curriculum is a flexible learning system, which means there's no scheduling, there's no classes, there's no lectures. You're coming in at your convenience and being a part of Code Ninjas. So there's that convenience factor of just being able to come in, either sit there and wait for your son or your daughter to be done with their session that day or their work that day, and then leave or drop off and come back and pick up your son or your daughter. So that work that is done is all done through our textbooks. When they come in, our kids scan their wristband. When they scan their wristband, it unlocks their ability to access the curriculum. This curriculum will also, soon to be released, is going to have reciprocity. So they can go to multiple Code Ninjas, and you as a franchisee get paid immediately. It's not like if you have a guest come in, you're not going to get paid from that. No, you will be getting paid from that. So when reciprocity happens and you have a visitor from out of town, a ninja come in and they scan their wristband, that automatically triggers a payment for you. So the reciprocity is going to be wonderful for our franchisees to share and have more importantly, our customers have more opportunity to engage with Code Ninjas. We also, out of that, we also offer camps. We also offer Parents' Night Out. We also do workshops. We do birthday parties. We have an after-school program. And like I said, we have that drop-in program. Soon, we'll have Code Masters. Code Masters is for 14 years and older. Could be 40 years old, could be 50 years old, could be 30 years old. It doesn't matter. 14 years and older is that Code Masters program. So also, as we grow, we continue to add. When we first started Code Ninjas back in March of 2017, we just focused on our drop-in program. That's all we focused on. And you can see inside of our franchise disclosure document, and something's called an Item 19, which gives you a little bit insight on the financials. In that first year that we operated and only focused on the drop-in program, we did more than $260,000 in revenue that first year, and we got nailed by a hurricane down in Houston, which kind of paralyzed us for a couple of months. But we still, by focusing on one revenue stream, and launching of our brand, still did more than $260,000 in revenue. Now with the other 5 opportunities for you as a Code Ninja franchisee, you're able to go out and maximize even more opportunities. And you can take our workshops and our camps, you can take those out into the marketplace. You can take those and teach those in a school. So you can not only have your center for your drop-in program, Parents' Night Out, after school, birthday parties, and camps and workshops. Now you can take our camp, based on our franchisees' feedback, now you can take our camp and our workshop curriculum and teach that in a school system, which is really exciting for our franchisees to be able to take advantage of. So that gives you some insight on the curriculum. That gives you some history of how David Graham, the founder of Code Ninjas, where we kind of came from a little bit. It gives you an update on our, if you want to say Code Ninja by the numbers. This hopefully shows you a little bit. Now, this is kind of where we move into that Q&A. Whether it's something you have questions about that I talked about on here, like for example, our student ages are 7 to 14. If you have questions on our franchise disclosure document, I'll do my very best to answer those. If you have more questions on the curriculum, I'd be more than happy to get into that with you as well. If you have more questions on our goals as a franchise, please fire away and ask those questions as well. If you have questions about outside of the U.S. and Canada, that is not the time. This is not the time for that call. You're going to have to contact me directly. We can talk about that growth, but we're going to focus just on the U.S. and Canada today. So this is going to be that time where you're going to be able to ask whatever questions you have in regards to Code Ninjas, and I'll do. How that will work is by you hitting *6, and it virtually raises your hand, and then you'll be able to ask whatever question you want. I'll be able to unmute you, and you'll be able to ask. Now, if I did such a fantastic job, then today's call is going to be over, and I appreciate your time today. We'll end it up quick. But if you do have questions, this is going to be your time to hit *6 to virtually raise your hand so I can see you, and I'll be able to answer any of your questions. Hi, you have a question?
Yeah. So I understand the growth and how fast this company is really growing, but unfortunately, the one thing I'm not quite getting a good feedback on is the potential cash flow of the business. And I understand that varies according to geography, according to many factors. I did not see anything in the disclosure agreement, something that can help me figure out a financial sheet of some sort that can help me figure out what the potential cash flow and expenses will be to run a center.
Sure. So a couple of things with that. One, obviously franchising, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but franchising law prevents me from sharing and going over any financial information that's not inside of our franchise disclosure document, right?
Sure.
So inside of our franchise disclosure document, there's something called an Item 19, and that's on page, I believe, 55 or 56. And that'll give you a little bit of an insight because obviously we're a newer brand, so the data is going to be limited. So you're going to be able to see in there that our centers on average opened up they clicked on their open sign with an average of 59 students enrolled. It goes over that data for the first it gives you a little bit of 90-day insider revenue, and then gives you that one center we had open for a year and their revenue. Knowing this, data is limited. We also built a pretty nice little handy Excel spreadsheet that builds out your BOE, your base operating expense, and allows you to plug and play all the revenue options.
Excuse me.
If you're looking for something outside of that, unfortunately, we don't have that yet.
No, I think that I was looking for that Excel sheet that you just mentioned. I did not see it on the agreement. What page is that on?
Well, that's not going to be in the agreement because it's not a part of the agreement. That tool is given to those who are in the process with us. So that Excel tool is given to those who are in the process with us, going through the steps with us. We provide different tools like business plans, sample LOIs, this Excel worksheet that you can plug and play. So once you're in the process with us, we want to be able to give you those tools once we go down this road together. We have facility guides and all that fun stuff that allow you to get a better idea of the costs and potential.
Got it. Okay. No, I think you answered my question. So it's really when you become part of the process that you have the opportunity to build up a potential cash flow and business financial sheet, and that helps you make a decision. Okay, perfect. No, that's
you don't have to be a franchisee to get that. You just have to be in our process to get that.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Yes. This is Miro. I'm from Mississauga, Canada. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I have a question. Like, what kind of assistance do you provide to select a location?
Pretty much everything. We do everything. We work with you on everything besides negotiating your lease for you. So we can't negotiate your lease. You have to work with a local commercial real estate agent, negotiate it yourself. We can't negotiate your lease terms with you, but we give you a sample LOI. We have lease terms for you. We have obviously we have our site standards that you have to follow. We help you we actually we're giving you one of our babies, right? We're giving you this brand to represent and to work within. We have to make sure that the area that it's going to be going in is approved. So not only do we help you approve your market, but we also work with you on making sure that your site is up to standards and approved, and then you would have to work with your local commercial real estate agent, real estate attorney, or yourself to negotiate your space.
Okay. Okay. That
awesome.
answers my question. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, you have a question? Hello, do you have a question? No? Hi, do you have a question?
Hi, this is Fred. How are you? Can you hear me all right?
Now I can, yes.
Thank you. Thank you, by the way, for the overview of this call, and you sent some material to me in the mail as well, or email. I was wanting to understand how opportunities in the tri-state region, primarily New Jersey and New York.
New Jersey is going to be tough. New Jersey is going to be tough because New Jersey you can see by looking at our website, we have a lot of locations coming to New Jersey. And really, New York, don't say a territory, don't give me a city. Don't do that right now. Let's do that privately because there could be somebody tuning in, and next thing you know, it's going to get swiped from you. So let's do that privately. But New Jersey is going to be a little bit more difficult. So when it comes to really identifying territories, let's work together one-on-one with that to find out your area, like what's going to be available.
So I will drop you an email, Marty, because I'm also interested in exploring an international location. We can talk about that offline as well.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, you have a question?
Franchise. What percentage does a franchise take out of the commission or the pay structure?
Yeah, so there's something called a franchise fee. That's what you use. That's what you do to purchase your territory, and then there's something called franchise royalties. The franchise fee is a one-time payment that you're paying to purchase your territory. That currently is $24,000 US. As of April 1st, that'll be going closer to $30,000. The royalties are 8% to make it just really easy to kind of the all-in percentage is 8%.
Okay. And as far as the students, I have no background in programming, but I'm in business. So who teaches these students? How do you hire, or what? Who's the one teaching the students?
Sure. Great question. So, and here, this is a really important question to understand. So everybody kind of tuning in. We have close to 30 people still listening in. This is really an important question to understand because your trust is in the curriculum. You're not trusting in a person to come up with a way of teaching. This is not that. That's what's being done on the market today. You're trusting as a business owner, and you'd be trusting somebody to be teaching the curriculum, teaching their ideas and their way of doing it. You're trusting in the Code Ninjas curriculum here, and you as a leader, as a business owner, you are developing the individual to deliver the curriculum in a fun and exciting way, right? So our curriculum is designed to be fun. So that's why our whole tagline is kids have fun, parents see results. This is a game-based curriculum, so they are having fun, but it requires code senseis. They're typically 17 to 22-year-olds. They have a computer science, robotics background. You're working with them to deliver the fun factor and the contagious part, the infectious part about your culture that kids want to be a part of. So you're trusting in the curriculum to be the curriculum, but it's fully duplicatable in terms of like your individuals to deliver it. So, if 17 to 22 years old, they're going to come and go, right? We have an incredibly high retention of our code senseis because this is what they want to do with their future, right? Typically, people in this age range that come to a Code Ninjas are not deciding between us and a fast food joint, right? This is what they want to do with their future. They can put it on their resumes and then go over that they taught kids how to code for X number of years. You're going to be working with them to create that culture and that fun factor for the kids that are doing the Code Ninjas curriculum. So they're coaching and teaching the Code Ninjas curriculum. They're not coaching and teaching their own thoughts and ideas.
And when will you have the master's program available?
Well, probably by Q2. I mean, we lived in that space for 4 years. We're very familiar with the adult world and that older and more complex curriculum. So it's just really a matter of making sure it's right and making sure that it's something that we feel is going to fit really well with inside of Code Ninjas. So I mention it because it is coming. It is going to happen, but I do not suggest you build your business model off of that. You build it off of the core of what makes Code Ninjas what it is today.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for your questions. Hi, you have a question?
Hi, I just want to double check. How many franchises do you have in Canada right now?
Right now, currently purchased territories in Canada that are secured and purchased, I believe we're close to 10. And 10? I believe Canada, 10, yep. And Canada will be fully sold out at about 50. So I would give Canada maybe another 90 days and it'll be completely sold out.
Okay.
Just based on what we have in the works right now, based on what we have in the works right now with people.
Okay. And what is the next step? Like, I am interested in Canada, and I would like to see, like, if I'm able to actually see a facility to, I don't know how the process is, I would like to see some of that kind of experience a little bit and then to make the final decision because I'm really interested to open a franchise in Canada.
So this is what I would do from this point for everybody listening. If you've received an email from Jeff Thames or if you've received an email from me, you're going to want to immediately, reply to him or myself. If you haven't or you can't find it, just don't know, email me, Marty, MARTY, @codeninjas.com. You email me at that, and I'm going to be able to connect with you, and I'll be able to get you connected, whether it's going to be with myself or with Jeff, who's ever.
Okay, so, I did send you an email already just today. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay, wonderful. All right. So then we'll dig in together, and don't say the territory you're looking at or any details because there could be somebody else listening. So let's connect today, and well, if I can get back to you today, I definitely will. If not, let's set a time for early next week and dig in.
Okay, sounds great.
Awesome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Hi, you have a question?
Yes. Actually, I have two questions about the opening advertising portion that obviously once the location is open that we have to recruit students. So, and you set aside like $5,000 on the website. So can you go through what kind of advertising you guys has planned for the startup of a centers?
I appreciate that question, and I really do, and I'm not trying to say this in a mean way, but no. I'm not going to go over our detailed marketing plan that we give our franchisees for their opening. At Discovery Day, we talk more about it, and we give more details about it, but our marketing and what we do is pretty phenomenal, and to go over that in detail and give out those secrets to individuals who are not committed to Code Ninjas and are not franchisees is not going to happen.
Okay, that's fair. And another thing, if I can participate as owner and also full-time teacher, how many other sensei do you expect to hire to start off, and how many hours?
Sure. So when it comes to code senseis, they're typically part-time, and you'd have 3 to 5 code senseis when you open your doors for business. And you typically, like I said, they're part-time. They're going to be based on your usage of, your center's usage, and really how you are running your center. Because if you're doing lots of camps in the schools and workshops in the schools, you're going to need team members. But typically, you can open your doors for 3 to 5 and then grow it from there.
Okay.
And we give all the job descriptions, interview questions, where to find. You get full support on that. And with 75-plus centers open, we have had 0 problems with finding code senseis.
Thank you. And what will be the minimum size of the site you guys requiring?
1,600 square feet.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That's all.
Awesome. Thanks. All right. Thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Yeah, hi. The question I have is, so what kind of investment we are looking to get into? That is one question I have. Another is...
Okay, so go ahead. Yeah, what's the other one?
Yeah, second question is, what kind of student numbers we are looking to get break-even or make it profitable?
Sure. So the first question is going to be the total investment. So you can see in our FDD for 1,800 square feet, you're looking at anywhere from $110,000 to $250,000 to open a Code Ninjas total turnkey. We made adjustments for our Canadian model as well, so that price range fits within the Canadian currency and the U.S. currency because of the adjustments we made in our model for Canada. When you right now, so that delta, that difference, and the reason the delta is there, that difference is really going to come down to a couple different factors, and you can see we give ranges in inventory, we give ranges in signage, we give ranges in architect because there's going to be different ranges in there, and we also give you the flexibility to choose different amounts of inventory. Also, a big factor is going to be location and something called what they call TIA or TI, which is tenant improvement. Tenant improvement allowance is where your landlord is either going to help contribute to your build or not, and that really is going to come down to your landlord. But that's total turnkey. That's franchise fee, that's your outside signage, that's inventory, pre-opening marketing dollars, that's everything. So that's total turnkey amount. Okay. Second question is going to be when you asked about student, which is a great question. But obviously, you know, from what I said earlier, I can't give you any kind of insight or that's outside of our franchise disclosure document, item 19, in terms of student count, and you're going to make this much money or you're going to get this many students. Franchising law prohibits me from doing that. So that's where that Excel document comes in, and being a part of our system and being a part of our process with Code Ninjas, we actually provide, knowing that our hands get a little tied, we actually work with you and help you build out your base operating expense. We give you the meat of our business, which allow you to then to build out your revenue side, and you can actually use the numbers in the item 19 to help build out your revenue side for Code Ninjas as well inside that business plan, that Excel document.
Okay. I have two more questions. Are there any restrictions if we have multiple businesses as investors? And the second question,
if they're going to be student-based, student-focused tutoring, like, I own a Kumon or I own a Mathnasium, then yeah, you're going to have restrictions because those non-competes are going to prevent you from doing anything with Code Ninjas.
Apart from that, there is no restriction, right?
No, I mean, entrepreneurs, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, if it's not going to go against a non-compete, go for it.
Right. And the last question I have is, let's say, for example, 2 years or 3 years or 5 years down the line, we decide to say goodbye to this business. What kind of restrictions or terms you have in place to make that happen?
There's. I mean, every business is designed to be built and sold, right? So we understand that. So we have, when it comes to restrictions, I mean, you have to operate your center for at least 6 months, and there'll be a transfer fee that typically the buyer is going to be paying as a part of the sale price. It's pretty easy. We've made it pretty simple.
Okay.
We'll even help you prep it for sale.
Okay.
Oh yes.
All right. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Hi there. A lot of my questions have been answered with other folks who have contributed, but I wanted to find out, one, what's the training for franchise owners? Do you focus on curriculum for owners to learn the Sensei program?
No, because that can be done on site by yourself. You don't have to, really that part of it, we don't have to focus on a new franchisee training. That part of it can be done, at your convenience off-site, inside your Code Ninjas. That doesn't have to be done. New franchisee training is the nuts and bolts of your business. We have sales, we have marketing, we go over the operational. So we don't go into the curriculum as in like learning how to do it. There's not enough time to do that. So you doing that yourself on site. And remember, you're having access to these things before, a month before you open. So you're going to get pretty far down the road. So when kids start coming in, they're going to be part of the first belt. I mean, that's going to take you no time at all to go through and to coach and to work with, and same with your coach senseis. What a 17 to 22-year-old is going to be teaching a 7-year-old, the cognitive skills are completely different. So training in your coach senseis is pretty easy.
Gotcha. And to piggyback off the last question, for a sale of the business, do you help facilitate sale once it's, if a franchisee wants to sell, or have you done that before?
Have we done it before? Yes, but not with part of Code Ninjas. So do we have experience in buying and selling franchises and brand? Yes, but we are not. We'll assist you with prepping, but not assist you with actually selling unless it's with inside the Code Ninjas already kind of lead base and family. We don't market it for you on the marketplace. We can connect you with people. We can have preferred vendors for you, but we ourselves don't broker your sale.
Gotcha. Okay. And I think you may have said you're not able to answer this question, but I'll ask it just in case.
No worries. No, go for it.
But what does a healthy center look like as far as enrollment? Are you able to give that type of projection at all, as far as number of enrollees?
I can't give you the number, but I'm going to just tell you as much as possible, right? There is no such thing as selling out of your center. With our drop-in program, parents coming in at their convenience, doing camps in the school system, workshops in the school system, we've given you every opportunity to bring this to your community and to get families involved, no matter their budget, no matter their experience, no matter the convenience factor. The new Item 19, the new franchise disclosure document, will be out in April. There'll be some great numbers in there that everybody can dive into. The franchise fees are going to be more expensive. We're no longer going to be having discounts for multiple centers. So there's some changes coming, hence why we're slammed busy right now. But if somebody needs more data, because we understand it, we're not in a stage for everybody, and we completely understand that. And if you need more data, then wait until April. It's last March, we added 100 territories to Code Ninjas in just March alone. So February and March are very busy months with people coming aboard, making decisions. If this is not your time, wait until April. Not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Yeah, I just want clarification on something that I thought I heard, and a follow-up question with that. So I thought I heard that in Canada, Canada basically will be fairly soon sold out, and it seems that you had like about 50 locations allocated in Canada. So the question that I have in regards to that is there any plans to also allocate a limit for the U.S. In terms of franchises, or?
Yeah, well, the U.S. is a little bit different of a market just because, we're showing and proving that smaller markets can be successful. And smaller markets may be an hour to 2 hours outside of a city, but the income and the student count is there. Now allowing our curriculum into camps, just the geo area and the population of the U.S., we were always focused on 650 to 700 units in the U.S. We still see that as our number. Canada we see as a 50-unit country. Currently we have 10, so I would say there's about 40 left in Canada with 30 people that are digging in deep. So I think Canada itself is just it's just a lot came in for Canada. I mean, half of today's call are based out of. From what I'm looking at right now, half the people on the call today are from Ontario. So.
Got it.
Canada just blew up.
Another question for you, changing topics. So coding, of course, is the main product and the main curriculum, but I have also seen something regarding robotics. is robotics part of the curriculum of coding?
Yep.
And I'm not a coding
person. We have an exclusive. So if you think of what we do, and this is a great question, I just want to kind of provide a piece of clarity. When we say our main curriculum is coding, actually our main curriculum is teaching kids how to think like a coder. Critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, problem identification, time management, leadership, collaboration. That's the core concepts of what makes a great coder, and that's what we focus on. Yes, we teach a little bit of Scratch. We teach full JavaScript with the syntax and Lua and C#. We dive into that through our 9 belts, which have a exclusive robotics program built into it. It's exclusive to Code Ninjas in all of North America. It cannot be purchased. It cannot be used. It cannot be done anywhere outside of Code Ninjas in all of North America. So so coding is almost like we're teaching kids fully transferable skills. So when they get older, if they want to use Python, go for it, because a great coder and a great programmer can learn multiple languages and learn a language over a period of a week. So we have to make our kids think like a coder, and they get this aligns them with their future with all the coding and programming jobs that are going to be abundant in our future.
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, you have a question?
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to, I think it's been already answered. I really missed it out. I just want to know approximately how much is the total investment in Canada?
Yeah, it's the same. It's going to be the same, between 110 and 250,000 total turnkey, and that's because we made adjustments for our model in Canada to help out.
So that's a US
some of the
dollars
changes with the tariff. The 110 to 250 is going to be Canadian, because we made some adjustments in Canada to avoid the tariffs and the taxes for things that would come from over here. Right. And real estate is different in Canada, and there's also real estate is different in Canada. So we have some more flexibility in the real estate opportunities because there's just different real estate in Canada.
I got it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. All right, last question. Hi, you have a question? Last one.
Hi, this is Brian.
You have a question? Yeah. Yep, I got you, Brian.
Oh, yeah, hi. This is Brian from, I was wondering, I have a few questions. First of all, the territory in California Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, is that still available?
Yeah, we have actually, there's a few territories right now that are outside of the Bay Area that are just outside of the Bay Area that are happening. But the Bay Area itself, we have not done an ounce of marketing in the Bay Area, and it looks like now we're getting a lot more attention from the Bay Area. So it's pretty exciting. So definitely would want to connect with Jeff and I. We could zero in on an area for you.
Sounds great. Thanks for that. Next question is,
awesome.
What is the
go ahead.
What is the total investment amount? And then after the franchise gets started, what is the extra amount for it to cover the losses until break even, and how long is that going to take to break even in general?
Well, we'll work on that second half of that question. There's some things we work on together one-on-one because your area is going to be a little bit different, a little unique. And I did mention this quite a few times earlier, 110,000 to 250,000 total turnkey to open up your Code Ninjas. That's everything that you would have to invest into a Code Ninjas to open it. Would be between 100. That's for 1,800 square feet. Will be between 110,000 and 250,000. Now, if you're talking about the Bay Area, keep in mind that's a range. You're in the Bay Area, so let's just keep that into perspective when we're looking at those numbers.
Yeah, it's very expensive here. Thanks for that.
Yeah, and we'll know all the numbers before you. I don't want anybody becoming a franchisee until we get these numbers a little bit better dialed in. So that's some things we work on together as well.
Right. So what are your financial options that your franchisee take?
Our franchisees typically do SBA loans. And we have preferred vendors that are set up for that, so they work with you. They know our business model. They work with banks that know us, and you'll be able to reach out to them as well when you're part of our process.
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
So is this something that has to come later, or can you give us a ballpark of how much money we will be able to make?
So, like I mentioned earlier, I can't talk about any financials that are not inside my franchise disclosure document. Those are the only numbers that I can talk about. So I think it would be best for us to connect one-on-one, either with whoever has already contacted you, whether it's be Jeff Thames or myself, and we can get you the franchise disclosure document. You can review that. With the tools that we provide you with that, it will help you fill in the blanks for opportunities that you're thinking.
Sure. If you have another minute, could you describe a day? What is a day like for a franchise owner? You know, what do they do? What do I do?
Well, that would be a good. That's a good segue into what we call our discovery days. So once you enter our process and you become inside the process of Code Ninjas, and we are vetting each other out, and we start to figure out if this is a good fit for one another, we have something called Discovery Days. Discovery Days are by invitation only, but that's where we're digging a lot deeper on the daily stuff of what we do. We have our KPIs figured out already. We have your daily agenda figured out. So we give you the pathways, and we provide the insight on those pathways at Discovery Day and as we go further down the process. But for me to go into the day in the life of a Code Ninja franchisee right now is not the appropriate time for that.
Okay. Thank you.
But there is, and we'll dive into it for sure. All right. Thank you. All right. Promise now this is the last question. Go ahead. Last question. You still there? To mute me? 3, 2, 1. No? Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for taking Code Ninjas conference call. We'll continue to do these calls each and every week. If you have not heard from Jeff Thames or myself, please email me, marty@codeninjas.com. I'm also a crazy guy who likes to give out my cell phone number. They call me nuts for that, but 763-516-3578. If you want to shoot me a text because you have a quick question, you want to try to give me a call, I'll try to call you right back if I'm able. Otherwise, thanks for taking the time. If you want to attend a Discovery Day, you want to dig in deeper with us, please reach out. We would love to have you be a part of a Discovery Day, love to have you be a part of our process. And we're looking forward to a great 2019, hitting more than maybe 500 locations sold, 250 locations open, and bringing coding, this whole mindset to this younger generation is pretty exciting. So thanks for your time today.